Hey everybody, this is Mark Bozon. I'm here to give you guys a video review for Nintendo's Mario Kart Wii. Check it out.
Mario Kart Wii! Woohoo!
To kick things off, we have to mention that Mario Kart is definitely what Nintendo loves to call a bridge title. It's a game that's going to do different things for different players. It's geared to both the hardcore and the casual, so obviously it's going to do different things for different players based on what's offered. Mario Kart's been around since Super NES days, but the core gameplay is still virtually the same. You can pick it up one player, and you can play through Grand Prix in 50, 100, or 150cc races that are entirely against the computer, going through and unlocking medals. Or you can grab some friends, and you can play online, you can play battle mode, you can do a lot of versus races and competitions in that sense. And that's where the game kind of gets its rep for being not only a racing game, but also kind of a party and a casual-friendly multiplayer experience. For Wii specifically, though, it's really obvious that Nintendo wanted this to be kind of a jack-of-all-trades game. And while it's not really a master of none, so to speak, it definitely has some balance issues and some odd limitations at times that a lot of players aren't really going to understand, especially if you're part of that hardcore camp. If you're a casual gamer out there, though, and you're wondering what to get for, kids or people that aren't really familiar with games or don't have a ton of stuff to play on Wii, this is bar none a hands-down must-have game. Now, with that being said, we're going to jump into what works and what doesn't with Mario Kart Wii. Of course, there are little things that have changed, such as the ability to now automatically get your power slide boost, and we would have loved to do it, on the fly by ourselves. But in the end, if you look at it and you take it as a bridge title, snaking eliminated online is actually going to be a really good thing. The game also returns with the tradition of 32 tracks in all. You've got 16 that are all new, a lot of them are very cool, and 16 that are retro. And the retro tracks actually have a really neat look to them. It's a blend of this weird old and new style together. The Super Nintendo tracks, though, still look like Super Mario Kart. The N64 ones still look like N64. It's really just a nice blend visually, and it's a lot of fun to go back and play these tracks that a lot of people haven't had a chance to play. There's also, of course, a ton of local multiplayer and options for those, and it's a great overall package if you just have a lot of people chilling around, got a Wii wheel, a couple GameCube controllers, and you want to just have everybody jump in and have a good time. Also the tricking and the bikes have been added this time around. They're both really neat elements, and the nice thing about it is neither of them really overpower the experience. It feels like a good, seamless blend into the main Mario Kart mechanic. When we get into the specifics of it, though, there really are a few areas where Mario Kart has missed the boat, and many of which are noticeable primarily to the hardcore crowd. There is team and solo racing for local multiplayer, but there's no free-for-all mode for battle. That's definitely something that's already getting a lot of people upset with online, and the fact that you're always going to be playing in teams is a little unnerving. Another one that's been removed, though, is Co-op Grand Prix. So there's no longer any two-player mode where you're just going for medals. Everything you're going to do with multiplayer either needs to take place online or offline in multiplayer modes. We also have to say, as much as we like the new retro tracks and the idea that they're putting these in the game, some of them really feel a bit random. You've got some cool tracks, but you've also got some second-tier ones that really don't make any sense. And in my opinion, it's obvious Nintendo's keeping some of them. They've got a set list, and they're putting in a few awesome tracks and a few just passable ones every single generation, and they're thinking ahead to future games. As far as local multiplayer is concerned, it's really nice you can now actually go in and change how often items occur and if they're, strategic or if they're going to be really aggressive. One thing that would have been nice, though, that people have been asking for is an item editor, and that's not in there. So you don't have something like Smash Brothers where you can just go in and say, look, I don't want to use blue shells, they suck, let's get them out of the game. Another weird technical downside to playing local multiplayer is that when you go to 3 or 4 players, so when they segment the screen into 4 different screens, you get a drop to 30 frames as the benchmark instead of 60 frames. So while the main game has this really nice fluid look to it, once you get more people into the mix, it drops, and also control just gets a little bit more iffy along the way because it's not reading it as frequently. It's also great to see that Nintendo's put more emphasis on battle mode this time around with 12-player online, which is awesome, but there are some issues with it still as well. All the battle mode tracks are still made for 12 players, so there's nothing smaller. You don't get the retro like Block Fort old levels that are tighter and a little bit better for just 2 or 4 players. And that also shows up in racing. As you can see here, I'm actually driving. I'm about half a lap behind, and this rain cloud continues to hit me because it thinks I'm in second place. So it's giving me second place items rather than noticing that I'm last out of 2 players and halfway behind. Definitely some balancing issues here that need to be worked out. The biggest issue, though, overall, which we have to mention, is 150cc is absolutely brutal. It's not just us. We're seeing it all across the internet. People that already have the game are talking about it. It's tough. The game is just amazingly punishing, and the rubber banding is right up there with titles like NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. It's just some of the most obvious and frustrating comeback AI that we've ever experienced in a game. The bottom line here is just that you don't want to lose a game when you feel like you've done nothing wrong, and that happens way too often in Mario Kart Wii. On a massive, massive flip side, though, it's a pleasure to say that Mario Kart's online mode is even better than its offline is. You can hook up with people, you can go with friends, you can go random online, regional, worldwide, and you can join tournaments, you can link up with people all across the world, and it all runs at a very slick, really nice 60 frames per second, even if you're playing split-screen 2-player on Wi-Fi connection. That's an absolutely huge success and a very nice win for Nintendo. The channel system rocks as well too, and it's fully integrated with the game. Basically, you can go in, you can send system friends invites to Mario Kart along with your friend code right off the bat. You can check if friends are online and join them without even booting the game first. You can watch games, you can download new ghosts, you can compete against save ghosts, you can check the leaderboards. All this stuff can happen without having the game in, and it's awesome. It's a great way to get around the whole fact that you've got to connect to Wi-Fi connection and see what's going on. It's incredible. It may fill up fast, but if every single game from here on out has its own channel and is integrated this well, we're all for it. There are always going to be things you want to change or gripes that you've got with games, but in the end, Mario Kart is a great offering whether you're casual or hardcore. The visuals are simplified a bit, but it's still really nice to look. It runs at a solid 60 frames per second, and even the tilt control, which some of us resisted, is really nice. All the footage that you're seeing here actually has been played with the tilt control, and it feels great. Online is a huge blast. It's better than single-player mode, which has some issues such as the 150cc, but in our opinion, it's a solid kart. It's not the best one out there, but it's certainly a must-play addition to the series, and there's obviously enough content here to last you a long, long time.
So there you have it. If you're looking for a great local or online multiplayer game, check out Mario Kart Wii. We'll see you online.